Hey guys, how's it going? Zombie here with ZNR Gaming. Today we're looking at Destiny 2 Beta, and we're going to look at the skill tree for the VoidWalker Warrior subclass. Now this is a returning subclass from Destiny 1, and one of my personal favorites because it's in the first one it was solely designed around attack and offense, and this one, there's not much difference. But getting right into it, we're going to look at the VoidWalker special ability, the Nova Bomb. This subclass isn't really one you activate and it stays on. It's not like the Striker or the Sentinel for the Titan or the DawnBlade for the Warlock as well. This one's just kind of a one-shot deal. But you get the Nova Bomb with this one, and what you do is you hurl an explosive bolt of void light at the enemy, disintegrating those caught within its blast. And this is a really effective one to use, especially in games like PvP. You jump in the air, you do it, and you can throw it over Titan's walls or over barricades around close to areas that people are hiding behind. It causes a good effective damage. It's really good. It's one I normally prefer and like. But getting to the left, we have the same abilities here. No matter which subclass you choose per class. On this class, on this race or guardian type, I guess I should say. Sorry guys, the Warlock. He has the Healing Rift and the Empowering Rift. The Healing Rift, you press and hold B to conjure a well of light that continuously heals those inside it. And for Empowering, you do the same thing, but instead of healing, it increases the weapon damage. I normally use the Empowering one, because in PvP it causes you and your allies to do additional damage to enemies as they come in. Normally whenever I seem to fight someone in a firefight, we normally kill each other around the same time. So even with the healing rift, it doesn't seem to help out too much in PvP, in my personal opinion. Maybe with the Titan's Wall, if you can hide behind, get shot with a couple rounds, then hide behind again, it should heal you quickly, a lot quicker than your enemy. But I normally use the Empowering one for this in PvP. In PvP and PvE, it just helps out a lot when you do additional damage. If you can get those shots off first that are stronger, then you can easily kill your enemy versus him killing you, and then you can just step around a corner and try to heal. But getting into the grenades, we're going to do the Vortex Grenade, a grenade that creates a vortex which continuously damages enemies trapped inside. Really like these types of grenades, the ones that kind of just stay there and cause additional damage. I know on the Strike, I like to use this one. There's a few areas where the Cabal are just bundled perfectly together. If you throw this right into the middle of them, it'll just clear them out easily. It does a good bit of damage in PvP as well. You can throw it on locations people are trying to capture, or if they're you can throw it behind them if they seem like they're trying to retreat during a firefight, and they'll walk right into it, causing additional damage and maybe killing them. But that's one I really prefer. The Axion Bolt makes a return from the first game. It's a bolt of void light that forks into smaller bolts on impact that seek out enemies. I believe it's only 2 bolts. I could be wrong about the number. If I am, I apologize. But you throw the grenade, and when it explodes, it doesn't actually cause explosive damage. But what it does is it sends out little ghost void things, what it looks like, little orbs of void that track down enemies, and it'll track them around corners. It doesn't have an extremely long range on it, but they're very effective, especially in PvP, because people will think they're hiding fairly well, and it explodes on impact. So if you just throw it and they're behind cover, it will explode and it will track them down and hit them. It's a very effective one. After that, we have the Scatter Grenade, a grenade that splits into many submunitions. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired. And covers a large area with multiple explosions. This one was really effective. Again, it's really good to use when people are hiding behind cover, or in PvE, yes, whenever you're doing with groups of enemies. It causes a lot of damage, and it covers a little bit of an area, so if you're not hitting someone directly, then they can still walk into it. Very effective one, but again, the Vortex Grenade seems to be my normal favorite, followed by the Axial Bolt, and then the Scatter Grenade is in the third. Next, we're going to look at the jumps. These are the same one as the DawnBlade, it seems. What? Nope, we have Blink. Sorry about that. That's a me jumping the gun there, and I apologize. So we had the strafe glide, which is jump while airborne to activate glide and start an airborne drift with strong directional control. This is just a good way to kind of keep you in the air for a while and let you move around. It's real good if you're starting to miss a jump, you think you're going too far left or right, you can pull it back some. It's not exactly the easiest thing to control when you try to do that. You can't just stop on a dime and go back the way you were going, but it is really effective to use when you're trying to get to certain locations and you're trying to line up where you're landing. After that, we have blink, which is making another return from Destiny 1, and it's a teleporting method. This is really effective for a lot of people in PvP. I've never been that great at doing the blink method, but during PvP, a lot of people use it and they'll blink and it kind of teleports from a very short distance from where they are to in the air. But what that does, it makes it harder for people to shoot you on the way up. They have to know where you're going to be at, and a lot of people don't react quick enough when you do it. So as long as you can line up a shot quickly before they can line you up in there, it's just a really effective method to use. You can also quickly blink up and then throw a grenade down or something else, or use a rocket launcher if you got one. A really good way to get people. Third, we have the burst glide. It is a jump while airborne to activate glide and start an airborne drift with a strong initial boost of speed. This is just another way to jump, stay in the air, kind of like the other one we were just talking about a minute ago, the strafe glide. But this one is it's just another glide, but you move a lot quicker. You don't get quite the control that you do with the strafe glide, but you do get a lot more speed, which can be more effective in strikes, raids, and in PvP. Now, for the Atonement of Chaos tree we have here, we have a Chaos Accelerant, which where you hold LB to draw power from your super to overcharge your grenade, making it deliver and more effective, deadlier, more effective. This is pretty cool, guys. If you got a second to charge up without dying, it'd be a real good method to throw some more grenades around corners and stuff. I know I talk about that a lot, but anyone who plays PvP knows that you step out, you shoot, and if you don't kill someone right away, you just step behind a corner and you wait for them to come to you. So that's a real good way to get those people who like to sit back and wait, or if you want to clear out areas that are being captured, or if you're playing Countdown, it's a good way to throw it on locations where people are trying to set bombs, camp where the bomb has been placed, or if they're trying to defuse one you've done. Next, we're looking at Bloom. Void ability kills, cause enemies to explode. This is just kind of an in general one, it seems like. So if you use your grenade, or if you use your melee attack or something and you kill someone, it causes an additional explosion. Real good is turning your enemies into grenades, which can be very effective in battle. Cataclysm is a Nova Bomb that travels slowly and seeks enemies. Detonation shattered into smaller seeker projectiles. Fire your weapon at the Nova Bomb to detonate it early. Now, I've used this one a lot, and I don't particularly like the way it moves so slow. Yes, it does home in on the enemy some, but it's not extremely effective on the way it homes. It does not turn much. You have to be pointing generally at the person. But it's very slow. If you're using this one PvP and they see it coming, it's going to be really, really easy for them to dodge it. On the other hand, I did use this in PvE a lot, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Protheon, I believe his name is. It's the one that at least looks like Atheon. It's the Vex boss at the end of this strike, the inverted spire that we had in the beta. I do know there was a couple times where I threw it at him, and since he was moving so quick at the end, they missed. So what I would do is I would shoot, and the actual the small bolts that come out that follow him, the projectiles, they are actually very, very good. They almost did a complete 180 back the other direction, and they tracked him down until they hit him. So if you do miss, or you think you're going to, shoot the Nova Bomb yourself, and it will explode, and it will cause these little things to seek out. It could be very effective for situations with PvP. If people are having, I know I say this a lot, and for that I apologize, but people are hiding behind corners or at the Titan wall, or if you throw it and they begin to run and you know you're going to miss, just shoot it and it'll track them down for you. Next, we have the Entropic Pull. Strike an enemy with this melee ability to drain your enemy's life force and use it to recharge your grenade. Just means that whenever you do some melee damage to them, it's going to drain a little more health from them, and it's going to cause your grenade to recharge a little bit quicker. Not really sure what this tree is called. Actually, no, we have Atonement of Chaos and Atonement of Hunger. I'm sorry. But for this one, we have Devour. Kill an enemy with this melee ability to fully recharge your health for a short time afterwards. Kills restore additional health. This can be really, really effective in PvP. Again, we have to get exotic shards to do this, so this may take us a while. But this will be a really effective method. If you can melee the last hit on someone during a firefight, it'll instantly recharge your health. And then as long as you can kill some additional enemies, you can keep getting your health back, which will allow you to last a little bit longer in the PvP. Again, probably going to be very effective in PvE, especially when we get to strikes and raids, when we have waves of enemies coming at us that we have to hold off. After that, we have Feed the Void, which is hold LB to consume your grenade energy to regenerate your health, grants the Devour effect. I believe this is really awesome. I mean, really, you're literally talking about just concentrating energy and then absorbing it yourself, just eating it like you would an apple or something, or I guess devouring it. So I guess something close to a throat lodging, just throwing it in there. But yeah, that sounds really awesome. So I mean, I just want to be able to use that just to be able to say I devoured my own energy. But again, this is a part of the Atonement of Hunger skill tree, so we're gonna have to wait till the actual game comes out to try this. Looking at this, how this is one of the two paths that we have here, and how these require exotic shards, I'm sure these will as well. So it's not going to be just about leveling up in these games, guys. It's going to be about getting exotic shards, whichever way that is, whether it's only through exotics, dismantling them on this game, or maybe you can get them through public events or reserve if he makes his appearance, which we all hope he will. But whatever it is, it's going to take 8 of these, which will take a good bit of time in order to do that. But after that, we're going to look at Insatiable. Sorry, guys. While Devour effect is active, killing enemies extends its duration and recharges your grenade. This just brings you back to killing an enemy with this melee ability will fully regenerate your health, and then it keeps restoring your health. So while you're restoring your health, you're also going to be extending the duration of this to where you're getting your health, and it's going to recharge your grenades faster. And last, we have the Vortex. Nova Bomb creates a singularity which continuously damages enemies trapped inside. I believe this is really awesome. It comes kind of back to this Vortex grenade we have. It seems like you throw a Nova Bomb, it traps enemies inside. I'm not sure if it's just going to land at a location and stay there. Maybe we can stick bosses with it, or maybe we just have to get it fairly close. But it seems like it's going to sit there and pulse damage to the enemies, which I think will be real awesome, real effective. So that's it, guys. That's everything that we've got so far on the VoidWalker. Like I said, we'll be able to get more detail whenever the actual game comes out and stuff, and we'll be able to give it another shot. One thing I do want to say is, if any Bungie employee has to look at this, I just want to say, check this guy out. I mean, this looks awesome, guys. Thank you. I mean, it's not just an image. You guys could have just done an image. This could have been a still screen, but no, you had the screen move, you had the aura here behind it and stuff. I would personally myself, I use Windows 10. I would like to see this as potentially some backgrounds, just each of these as backgrounds we can use as themes, amongst a lot of other ideas I have for themes that I'm not smart enough to set up myself. But I just wanted to point that out, how cool these things look. But thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, please like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and we will see you when the game comes out.